Alright, this is just for those that need additional support with the review, so if you want to check your answers, feel free to follow along. So the first ones are GCF, so we're just going to divide out what's in common, so we can take a 2x3 out, and we're left with 1x minus 2. Second one, we could take a 3 and an m out, because we're taking the smallest exponent. 9 divided 3 is 3. I had 3 m's, I'm taking away 1, so I'm still left with 2. And then 3 divided 3 is 1, and I have no m's left. The third one, I can take out a 4x. 4 divided 4 is 1, 2, take away 1x is 1, and 12 divided 4 is 3. So those are all GCF types. The second type are all diamonds. So remember, the last number goes on top, the middle number goes on the bottom. We're trying to multiply to the top number, add to the bottom. So we always start with the top and write out 1 and 6, or 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, so those are the factors I want. And remember, I write it out as two binomials, so it's going to be x plus 2, x plus 3. Second one has 10 on top and negative 7 on the bottom. My options are 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. 2 plus 5 is positive 7. So if I make them both negative, that's going to give me a negative 7. So I have x minus 2 and x minus 5. The last one, I have negative 12 on top, and remember, if there's no number, it's a 1. So I have a negative 1 on the bottom. My options then are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4. If I have 4 and 3, I can subtract them to get 1. If I want to add to a negative, the bigger number needs to be negative, so my final answer is x minus 4. X plus 3. And then the next type is our diamonds with grouping. So we do the first times the last, which is 6, and the middle number goes on the bottom still. We get our factors, which are still 2 and 3. The only difference is we have to do the grouping method for this one. So we keep the first term, we keep the last term, we write the two terms we got for our factors in the middle. It doesn't matter what order you write them in. 3 and 2 only divide by 1, so I'm left with 3x plus 2. 3 and 2 also only divide by 1. And remember, the parentheses should match, so it should say 3x plus 2. And then my final answer, I copy the parenthesis, which is 3x plus 2, and I write the leftovers in the other parenthesis, which is 1x plus 1. Oh dear, you can't see. Sorry, on my screen I can see it. Let me just scroll down here. Sorry about that. There you go. Alright, so then the next one, we're going to draw our diamond. And we're going to multiply the first times the last. So I get 18 and negative 11. My factors are negative 9 and negative 2. And remember, we write the first term the same, so we get 6x squared. We keep the last term the same, so we get a plus 3. And we write the two numbers we got in the middle, so minus 9x minus 2x. And then I do the grouping method. 6 and 9 both divide by 3, so I get 3x. 6 divided 3 is 2. 9 divided 3 is 3. Wow, my 3's are getting worse and worse. 2 and 3 only divide by 1, and remember the parentheses should match, so we're also going to get 2x minus 3. We copy that parenthesis first, so 2x minus 3, and the leftovers go. And the next one is 3x minus 1. Right, and I'm kind of running out of space for that last one. I think you've done enough practice with that type, so we'll move on to the next type. Alright, so the special types are just finding out what goes into them. So we get 5 and 5, x and x. So I get x plus 5, x minus 1. X squared is x and x. 36 is 6 and 6. And remember, I need one positive, so I get x plus 6. And one negative, which is x minus 6. The last one is a little trickier because I have a number starting 2, so 4 is 2x and 2x. 9 is 3 and 3. So I get 2x plus 3, and remember I need one positive, one negative, so I also get 2x minus 3. And these next ones are the same type as the ones we just did, so you can just practice those as needed. So I'm not going to go through them because they're the same as the ones we just did above. Right, and then we get to our mixed review. So if we look at these, we should be able to just identify the type. So this one is the diamond with grouping. So you can refer to the ones we did before this. This one is a regular diamond, so multiply to 49, add to 14, which is 7 and 7. So it's just x plus 7, x plus 7. The only difference is you have a y at the end. And this would be considered like a challenge problem. So if you can just do the 7 and 7, that's fine. And the last one is just like number 12 up here, because it's a perfect square. So I get 9x and 9x, 2 and 2. And remember, I need one positive and one negative. All right. That's a 9. All right, so go ahead and just the next mixed ones are the same type, so we don't need to go over those. And then you're going to get some multiple choice. When it only gives you one option for multiple choice, just do it as you know how. So negative 15 and 2. So we're looking for numbers that multiply to 15, 1 and 15, 3 and 5. 3 and 5 are your factors. The 3 needs to be negative. And if I were not looking at multiple choice, my answer would be x minus 3, x plus 5. So all I'm looking for then, let me rewrite that because that was terrible. I'm looking for is one of those options, and you can see that the only option that exists for that one is x plus 5. So it's still doing the same thing, you're just factoring and then finding the match, okay? And then we already went through these examples, number 26, 27, and that is it. So if you have any further questions, please stay after school for some help on the review. Otherwise, the test is tomorrow again.